we've just left Ellendale, drove right by the golf course I played. I wish I would have been filming a little bit of it, but I had photos I took of it and I posted on my website when I was here a few years ago. And we just crossed the border into South Dakota, and it's 32 miles to Aberdeen. So that's our only big turn, and once we turn, we're on the road that the campsite's on. Another 80 miles or whatever, but there's no more turns. So I was talking about this campsite, and when I first came there, I had asked the lady if I could stay longer if I wanted to, and she looked at the schedule and said yeah, but she did warn me that I'd have to be leaving on the Friday of Labor Day weekend because they were going to be booked in full that weekend, and that was fine with me. I found another place where I'm going right now, and they said they were not booked up and would be able to take that reservation. So yesterday, on Thursday, I thought I'd go down to that office and pay for the next week, and when I did, the guy started shuffling around a little bit, and finally he said, well, we can do it, but you're going to have to move to a different site, which was not a good thing for me because it had taken quite a bit of work and maneuvering of my RV just to get it in the site that I was currently in, and frankly it was going to take some maneuvering to get out of it. He said the other sites might be better off and easier, but it just didn't appeal to me, so I said see ya, and here I am on the road. So yesterday when I got up, I didn't think I'd be moving today, and all of a sudden I'm moving, which, you know, it's kind of a project when you're in an RV, and in my case, the problem with the campsite was it was arranged for you to back in at an angle, like a 45-degree angle off of the driveway. And by doing that, I would have needed a power cord of about 50 feet just to reach the plugs for that particular site, which is kind of ridiculous. I mean, normally you're more like within 10 feet of it, and the typical cord is around 25 feet, which is what I've got. And while there are extension cords out there, most people don't need them. I haven't needed it for a year and a half. Going to different sites, they've all been fine. This is by far the biggest problem. So at first when I pulled in, I thought I didn't even have power at that site because I didn't see anything so close to it. And I went back and said something, and he goes, oh, it's just, you don't see it because it's so far away. So I took that as a personal challenge, and he goes, well, if you need an extension cord, I got them. But I went back and looked at it, and I realized, well, instead of backing in, you go in forward, and then you turn to about a 90-degree angle, and you stick your rear end out that certain direction, and all of a sudden, the plug will reach it. The cord will barely reach it by about a foot or two. And that's what I did, and I had to keep getting out. I did actually bump into a picnic table and a tree, but I just barely brushed them in my maneuvers. And for the last week I've been looking at it, and I knew how I wanted to get out, and it was pretty easy to get out. I even filmed it, and it will be on YouTube, getting out. But I had to get back within trees, behind trees, and kind of parallel park in them. And it looked kind of funny because even when I'd be sitting in there eating something at my table and looking out the window when somebody's driving by, they're all looking at me, and they do a double take, and they usually end up laughing or smiling after they see what I did. And even the guy who was in the office yesterday, and I went down and told him who I was, he goes, oh yeah, I just want to say bravo on getting your RV in like that. And he was kind of making a joke about it, but it was true. You needed to really work at it. I'm surprised that they haven't had major complaints from other people, but evidently not. So here I am on the road, and I have a feeling my hookups will be a lot closer on this park. I have no idea, but I'm willing to bet the house that they're within 15 feet of where I need them to be. It's too bad too, because that campsite, just the scenery and the quiet, it was really good. One of the better ones I've been at. Nice trees, which made it tough for me to make my signal of my TV reach, but it worked out. And the cats had a perfect kind of a backyard behind the RV where it was a big green area where there was no danger, no harm, no dogs coming through walking. They were out of sight, and even Fluff was out quite a bit. The big fat cat was out a lot more than normal, and I felt confident having her out there that she was safe.